Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Leadership Power Paradigms. This is Bill Thomas, your host and presenter for today's episode. I hope all is well with you, and we'll wait just a few more seconds to welcome those who will be just joining us today, and then we'll get right back to our lesson. So I see that the time is right. The crowd is here, and I will begin things in just a quick second. Hello, and welcome to this episode of Leadership Power Paradigms. This is Bill Thomas, your host and presenter for today's episode. Let us use the next 14 or so minutes to discover how leaders can obtain and endow their people with the ability, direction, strength, and insights they need to perform their work with excellence, leverage the full potential of their human capital, and develop success-oriented behaviors to meet the challenges of this imagination age. So let us begin our explorations. We have the perfect model of leading in these first 4 verses from the book of the Exodus in chapter 31. We see that the Lord God tells Moses and you and I that God gave the son of Hur the gifts of wisdom, understanding, knowledge, and guidance in performing all manner of workmanship, so that Bezaleel could devise and fabricate cunning works using his hands, eyes, and mind. God blessed him and others with those gifts to help them shape, build, and fashion the tabernacle of the congregation, the ark of the testimony, the mercy seat, the altar, and various pieces of furniture and fixtures for the tabernacle. There are 4 discrete domains, a sphere or set of elements limiting our knowledge, influence, or activities involved in any discussions of human capital. They are composed of 1. Attributes, how we qualify, portray, or associate the objectives of our actions, such as the action on, which is physical, action with, which is intellectual or mental, action for, which is spiritual or emotional, and action towards, which is developmental. Number 2, assets, forms and locations of the tangible or intangible properties, advantages, and value that every person can and does contribute. Number 3, resources, tools, supply and support sources of human beings needing maintenance, development, sustenance, replenishment, and supervision. And 4, impacts, how much or where humans affect themselves, their environment, their world, and universe, such as fields of focus, which are the reasons or motivations for acting. Capacity acts towards endowing us with capability, competence, or potential. When you engage them, it's your task to help your partners, associates, peers, constituents, or clients connect with, believe in, commit to, organize for, performing any mission critical activity, reaching for a desired objective, or completing some specific task. 2. Empower them by linking them with the knowledge, resources, assets, and processes they need, preparing them for the tasks, activities, objectives, challenges, and problems they will work through, developing them to the sources of tools or materials, supplies, and resources, specialists, or networks to enable their efforts, guiding them in identifying, classifying, mapping, or modeling, learning, analyzing, evaluating, innovating, and creating, managing, venturing, and leading for any situation. By empowering, I mean facilitating the supply of energy, mass, and capability to perform the work at hand, to provide people with the energy of belief understanding, competency, or meaning. 3. Encourage them. Give them a purpose for being, for their inclusion, for making a difference and contributions, for reaching upwards or towards a higher plateau, giving them a sense of obligation to the mission, to help others, to fulfill an ideal, to belong to a higher power or a greater good, giving them trust in the common purpose, in the goodness of others, the love of mercy of God, in a promising potential for the venturer, and finally, giving them an affinity with a noble or worthy enterprise with all other positive or success oriented people with a great and righteous goal. Carl Jung provides us with a quick formula for handling and mastering the challenges of these three imagination age qualities. Jung suggests that when you look inside your organization, what motivations are stirred within you? How animated do you feel? Where does your mind's eye take you? When you peer outside the walls of your company, how far do your visions take you? Which features excite you the most? Why are you convinced there are more possibilities beyond the horizon? In each of these four domains, you may need to consider the essential traits of the three imagination age qualities that we saw on the previous slide. 1. Strategic insight, an ability to see your overarching competitive or superior advantages. 2. Creative instinct, a natural, nearly automatic and responsive tendency or propensity for identifying new, novel, innovative, or imaginative approaches and solutions to your challenges. And finally, 3. Artistic flair, possessing and exhibiting, executing, or arranging tasks with the skills, talent, and style usually found in people who practice or are adept at a fine performing or an imaginative art. Your true advantage relies on your understanding, application, and exploitation of the 21 principles of opportunity. You'll discover that they might bring you all the solutions, options, and inventions you could ever desire. Suppose you had the ability to identify how current trends and patterns in your own and the behaviors of others could affect the wealth producing outcomes of your organizational performances. Perhaps you could employ the natural and developed strengths of yourself or others to effectively and diligently convert the intentions of your priority or essential behaviors into wealthier, more profitable results. Do you believe that your experiential insights or wisdom endowed intuition might help you clearly grasp deep understanding of your behavioral impacts, empower more vivid observances of your reality, and generate realistic visions of new possibilities? As you read through the definitions provided by both the Wikipedia and by Professors Cow and Yakims in their Behavior Informatics article, you'll notice that they describe behavior as an action, a mannerism, or a reaction which is made or performed by an organism, entity, system, or any material under a set of given circumstances or as a response to a stimulus or input. They all say that behavior is found everywhere, in every type of situation, and that behavior is very social. What they do not say is this important fact: all behaviors contain various forms of information processes. Any and all social actions or reactions, such as our behaviors, our conversations, our relationships, and more, those social activities will always involve some form of information importing, information exporting, information converting, and information absorbing. Each of those things are information processes, and each of those processes will provide the social system, the social niche, or the social activity with life replicating, life giving, life sustaining, or life consuming energy or force. In a word, social action consists of social energy, and social energy consists of information processes. Any of the knowledge, understanding, and guidance that we possess or acquire enables us to effectively define, order, and prioritize our leadership actions, behaviors, or performances. In short, we can control, influence, or manage how we conduct ourselves and our actions or reactions to most circumstances. Your behavior is your choice based upon the mindset of fear or faith that you have in your ability to handle a specific environmental condition, operational situation, or set of circumstances. Effective leaders ensure that their organization, one, makes clear, measurable distinctions between the top, mediocre, and unacceptable performers. Two, provides rewards and respect which are exclusively, positively, and absolutely based on performance. Three, tells people what is expected, discuss how to get or achieve those results, then rewards those people for producing the results. And four, coaches people who fall short of goals, withdraw rewards, or gives them new jobs or terminates them. To encourage people to produce specific results, you must realize, recognize, and reward their achievements accordingly. To reward people properly and fairly, you must assess, evaluate, or measure their performance, link your recognition-oriented schemes and devices to their performances or behaviors, and employ rewards to elevate their status or promote them. Well, we've had an opportunity to consider some strategies, practices, and processes which can help us provide our people with the guidance, understanding, and knowledge they need to become workers who devise and fabricate cunning works. Now we see how we can employ the technique of realization to envision better realities, unravel the complexities in performance patterns or trends, while we recognize performance gaps and excellence faster and more accurately, and use our leadership power to encourage, empower, and engage our human capital to improve the wealth producing outcomes for our organizations. This ends today's lesson. You are looking at a catalog of materials, training, and coaching support which are featured in my Leadership Power Paradigms Producer Tools program. You can see that this program is designed to dramatically improve your leadership performances and use your leadership strengths to comprehensively empower the achievements of your people. Right now, this program is available to you at my lowest possible price. And and you can use your leadership strengths to comprehensively empower the achievements of your people. So I urge you to look at the webpage at www.one-iam.com/LPP-tools, or click on the Enroll and Get Started Now button that you see on the right side of your screen. And if you like what you read on that page, go ahead and get going now. Don't forget, there is my famous no questions asked No risk to you, 30-day money-back guarantee for this program. So you really have nothing to lose by enrolling now in this awesome educational program. And when you do use the button, the Enroll and Get Started Now button on the right-hand side of your screen, uh, you click that, and firstly, it will open up a new browser tab or a new browser window, so you won't lose me right now. And you can continue listening to me and watching what we're doing. And while you're doing that, I'm going to run back over real quickly to our control panel and send you the links for our two bonus gifts. So if you bear with me for a second. Okay. And just in case that doesn't work the way I hope it would, the two bonus gifts that we have for you today for attending the live session and or the replay recording uh, are our infographic, which is the 5 leadership uplifter tasks infographic. It is a PDF document, so I suggest that you download that and print it out and put that piece of paper on your desk. Yeah, I think you'll find it extremely helpful as you go about your daily leadership work and duties and responsibilities. It's designed to help to give you some guidance on the 5 key or essential tasks that every leader should be performing on a regular basis. And the second gift that we have for you today is the Words with Wisdom paper. It's 8 pages. It's called The Rainbow Moment of Black Elk, and it contains a number of the principles and tips and ideas and strategies that we covered in today's episode of Leadership Power Paradigms, as well as in previous episodes of Leadership Power Paradigms. So I find that that's a very helpful resource for many people, and they seem to enjoy using it and referring to it from time to time. So that also is a PDF document. And also for those of you who are on the replay recording of this episode, you don't have any worries. Number one is you should see both of those bonus gifts sitting there on the right side of your screen. Number two is that you can, and you're welcome to also click on the Enroll and Get Started Now button for our Leadership Paradigms Producer Tools program. And also, you guys can use the question box that you will see on the right-hand side of the screen, and you can use that to type in a question or a comment that you might have about this episode or about anything to do with leadership or any leadership-related topic or subject. And when you click the email button that you see on the right of that box, what you will find is that that gets automatically emailed to me. It will include your name and your email address because we have that because you had to use that to register for your replay recording as well as for the people who came live. It doesn't matter. My system knows who you are and what your email address is, so it sends that along with that question or comment that you have. And what I would encourage you to do is if you'd like to discuss your question or comment and my ideas or answers to the same, I strongly encourage you to include your phone number if you're located in the US or in Canada. That is, if you're located only in the US or in Canada, I would suggest that you send along your phone number. Otherwise, if you are located outside of the US or Canada, why then include your Skype ID. And I know that a lot of people outside of the US and Canada use Skype. I use Skype myself pretty extensively, and I am more than happy to give you a call on Skype. And we can have a nice little discussion about your question or comment, as well as many times people find that when they contact me On Skype, well, they tend to get a bonus paper from me, or a report that I've written or that I have access to. Many times I'll send along an article or even some type of an image along with that, because you can do all of that on Skype. And I also can give you, I can even type in some of my answers to your questions so that you have that for your records, as opposed to just getting an email response. So I strongly encourage anybody who's watching the replay recording to do just that. Okay, so I think I've talked long enough. I'm looking at my control panel. I'm not seeing any questions or comments from the live audience, so I will assume that those who are on the replay will have those and they can send them along, as I said. So, what I'd like to do is to say, God bless each and every one of you. Godspeed to each and every one of you in all of your ventures, and I wish you all the very best of success in all of your leadership endeavors. This is Bill Thomas signing off from this episode of Leadership Power Paradigms. I look forward to seeing you in a future episode. Take care.